Hey everyone, so the first thing I'm doing as always is priming the eye area. It's always the first step that I take because it helps the shadows to apply nice and smoothly, it prevents the shadows from creasing throughout the day, and it just makes those colours pop. So I've taken some of the Urban Decay Primer Potion, I've added a few swipes of it to the eye area, and now I'm working it into the skin using a synthetic brush. And I just like to use a brush like this because it doesn't soak up too much of the product, and it's nicely shaped, so it gets right up under that brow bone without disturbing the nice defined shape that I've created. You requested another tutorial using the Urban Decay Ultra Violet palette, so this time I'm using the neutral peachy tones. That's what I'm doing today. I'm starting out by taking the shade Mind Slip, which is a warm peachy orange shade, and it's got a matte finish to it. So I'm blending this into the crease, so just the area above the lid where the skin folds, and I'm applying it with the blending side of the double-ended brush that's included in the palette. So this shadow is on the softer side, it's a little bit powdery in the pan, and it definitely takes a couple of layers for you to see it true to colour, but it is a nice transition shade. I'm flipping the brush around now and using the bullet shaped end to apply some of that same shadow down along the lower lash line, and then I'm flipping the brush back over and I'm softening the edges with the fluffy side of the brush, so just wriggling it back and forward to really diffuse those edges. Next then I'm taking the shade Hacked, which is a deeper kind of more of a warm mauve shade, and again it's a matte finish like the shadow before. This shadow along with the previous one, the two of them are very easy to work with. They're nice and soft and blend well without leaving you with a load of fallout, and I'm just using this in the crease now to deepen up the look and again building up the shadow in a couple of layers. So once I'm happy with the pigmentation and the blend, then I'm moving down onto the lower lash line again and repeating the process. So if you wanted a really quick and easy look, you could just actually leave it now as is and whack on some mascara and you're good to go. But I wanted to dip into some of the shimmers in the palette. Next then I'm taking the shade Dazed on a flat C-shaped brush. And this is a warm peachy coral shimmery shade, and when I applied it with the brush to the inner half of the lid, I just found nothing really appeared, not how I was expecting anyway. So after working it in, I decided to try with my finger instead, and again I did get a little bit more pigmentation that way, but still not what I was expecting. So finally then I wet my brush and I added some more shadow, and yes, I did get a bit more sparkle, but I felt that I had to work harder than I should have to achieve it. I decided then to coat the outer half of the lid with the shade Vior, and this is more of a copper shade, but it has these kind of greeny blue shimmery particles running throughout it. But for me again, it was just a bit disappointing. It looks nothing like it does in the pan when it's applied to the lid. I did layer it up a good few times and there was a lot of fallout, but listen, it just doesn't pack a punch. Now some people will really like that, some people will like kind of a more subtle shimmery appearance. It's definitely a wearable look in my opinion, but I just feel for the price point, I don't know, it's a disappointing palette unfortunately for me, and I hate to say it, but it just is. To highlight around the tear duct of the eye then, I'm taking the shade Trippin' and I'm just using a little pencil brush to brighten up that area. Then I went ahead and I added some of the Kiss Lily style of lashes, and now I'm adding some of the Lash Freak mascara from Urban Decay to blend my own lashes in with the false ones. But then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, I hope you did find it helpful and it gave you an insight into how the palette performs, and then you can make up your own decision as to whether you want to purchase it or not. But if you enjoyed the tutorial, let me know. If you found it informative, let me know. I hope you did, and I'll catch you all soon.